I got two potential titles for today's video. Tell me which one you think is best. 9 worst retirement blunders. Be better. The alternate title is Come On Man. And that come on man, that's a old sports analyst phrase. Come on man, come on man. You can do better than that. So, hey folks, my name is Joe. I've been retired for 5 years, retired at 54, currently 59. I share my journey to help you on your journey, maybe retire 1 year earlier. That's the latest thing I'm saying. And I've helped a lot of people with that. Get a lot of emails, several a day, hundreds of comments a day, and I try to get through those. And, it feels good to make a difference. And your comments make a lot of difference. Adds to the discussion. People get my point of view and my experience when I'm leaving a video, and they get yours when you leave a comment. So please do that. And if you're not reading the comments, you're making a big mistake. So many of you know, if you've been listening here for a few years, that I used to do retirement coaching, and I did, 300 folks, 300. And this comes from that experience. So I got mine, plus all the people I interact with, and then about 300 clients that I worked with on working on the retirement plan. And this is where this list comes from. Luck plays a role in everybody's success, folks. Mistakes will happen. Most you can hide and kind of just learn from, but some are very costly. Failure. And here's how I've seen failure associated with these blunders is people end up working too long. That's kind of the main one. They use it, they make this mistake in their planning. They work 1 more year, 2 more years, 3 more years. They don't have confidence to spend. That's a big deal. This affects me. And I have got other videos on what I do to combat that. But, the tendency is to build a fort around your assets. So how are you going to get confidence to spend? And, the most common one that people talk about and fear is running out of money. But honestly, I don't see that too much and haven't seen it. The 300 clients I've talked to, I'm telling you, it's probably under 10 that I was concerned about them running out of the money. The vast majority of them had a decent plan. I would say somewhere in 50% could have retired earlier than what they thought once we worked through some of these failures. So interesting. The number one fear, running out of money, has not been my experience when working with people. That's been a small minority of people. So let's go through this. Here are 9, and these are not in any order. These are in order that I just tallied them going through the 300 clients. Number 1, mortality charts being read wrong. I had a guy just last week. This is why this is on there. Probably wouldn't have been on there without the guy last week. He just was throwing a fit that I was using 90 years old as my mortality. In this example, I was using new retirement software package, was going through Roth conversions and how to do them, whole separate video. But he says, hey, Joe, everybody knows the average male lives to 76 years old. Why are you using 90? Are you clueless? I mean, and he was stronger than that. Well, I'm going to attach a website. First, top link you'll come to a website from John Hancock Life Insurance Company, where you can go into putting in your starting age, like instead of 0, the 76 is based on a starting point of 0. Okay, and that 76 is right, but I'm already 59 years old. So a 59-year-old projecting forward, what is your mortality? And, on average, that's going to be a number like, 85, something like that. I don't really know what that one is. But you go into this John Hancock site and put in your blood pressure, your weight, your height, your cholesterol, whether you smoke, whether you exercise, whether you drink, all these simple questions. There's like 8 of them. And it kicks out 90. So yeah, if you want to use an average, that's an average of people that are no offense, overweight and smoke, those people will have a shorter mortality than somebody that exercises all the time, tries to eat right, other choices. Oh, it ask about when was the last time you've had a traffic violation? So maybe in an accident. So that's where I came up with 90. Be better than that, folks. Don't put in 76 as your mortality. Go to this website. Number 2, lazy budgeting. You wouldn't believe the number of people, it's in the 50% range, that have no detail to their budget. They just say, I spend about $6,000 a month now, and I'm going to be spending around $5,000 a month in retirement. I just figure it's going to go down. And I'm like, what? Go into it in detail. Look at what you're saving, what you're putting in your 401k. Are you paying off your house? When's that going to be paid off? Are you going to be buying the same amount of clothes? You're going to be going out to eat as much? Wear and tear on your car? Do you drive an hour back and forth to work? Go through it line by line. Lazy budgeting. The second part of budgeting that people miss is one-time expenses. Folks, this can kill your retirement plan by not thinking about one-time expenses. I got to buy a car. How often are you going to buy a car? Is it every 10 years or every 3 years? Okay. New roof on your house, new furnace, maintenance on your home. Maybe it's some go-go spending that you want to do. So I have increased spending from now 59 through 75. I have increased spending. I think it's around 18,000 a year go-go spending. And then I cut that in half from 75 to 80, $9,000 a year. And then I have no-go spending after that. So I added that to my base budget. One-time expenses are huge, huge deal. You need to account for it. Lazy budgeting, number 2. Number 3, not having a tax plan. This is probably about 80% of the people I talk to did not have a well thought out plan to reduce taxes. Most of them use new retirement, just to be honest with you. And then I would look at the tax projection over their individual years through mortality, through like 90. And they would retire and be paying very low taxes the first 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and then very high taxes once they turn 75 and RMDs start up. And paying zero tax is usually not a good thing when you're paying 32%, when you're 75. So my biggest expense in retirement is going to be taxes. So having a tax plan. Can you see in your planning, or your spreadsheets or your comprehensive software, can you see the tax liability by tax bracket every single year through your mortality? If you can't see it, I think you got a major retirement blunder. Okay, I'm going to give you a solution to that if you're looking for it. Number 4, panicking with inflation. 3 years ago, if we would have been talking about retirement, nobody would even be mentioning inflation. But inflation's been on the radar, and now people are, swinging their variables around and putting in 5, 6, 7% inflation, and then their model blows up. Yeah, inflation's a big deal. Okay, and it's been silent for a couple decades. You have options like spending cutting. If inflation's up at 5%, maybe you back off of your go-go spending and take a driving vacation. Maybe you don't go out to eat as much. Maybe you drive that car a couple years longer. There are options around spending that may allow you to retire earlier than putting in 7% inflation. By the way, I put in optimistic. I put in 2%, then average 3%, pessimistic 4%. That's what I use in my software. Number 5, medical plan spending before Medicare has no quotes in it. So what I'm saying there, that's not a very good title, but they just put in $2,000 a month for medical. I'm like, what's that based on? They go, I don't know. I heard it's expensive. Go out and get quotes. You know, I'm spending $1,000 a month total for my wife and I. There are Affordable Care Act plans that could be a lot cheaper than that for you if you can get some credits based on your income. So I don't know anybody paying $2,000 a month, and I see that for some reason I see that number a lot, $2,000 a month. See what your options are. You know, there's plans out there that are major medical that you can, you know, have a very low premium, say, you know, $400 or $500 a month. I actually have seen $300 a month, but they have a, you know, $15,000 deductible, then they cover 100%. That may be what you do. That may be the right thing to do if you're fairly healthy. But get some quotes. Look at your options. I got videos on that. By the way, I have a medical video. I got my like 10 top requested videos in the show notes below. So hit show more and go to my medical video. I made it probably 3 years ago now. Number 6, just taking Social Security early because you want to get your money. Folks, I consider Social Security to be my number one asset. Risk adjusted, my number one performing asset. Every year I delay 7 to 8%. It's not consistent year to year. But if I can delay that up to 70, it's worth a lot. And it's adjusted for inflation. And you know, the 7 to 8% you get return a year is adjusted for inflation. So it's a bigger number. Go into your software. Don't just take it at 62. See what it means to take it at 67, 70. I know I got videos on that too. Why I'm taking Social Security at 70. Take a look at that. Model it both ways. For most people, if you're healthy, you don't have any family history of, you don't have a heart condition right now, good chance if you live up into that mid 80s, upper 80s, it's a great plan. Social Security, don't automatically take that at 62. I think that's a big mistake. I would say 30% of the people that I've talked to just taking it at 62, and they said, I haven't really thought about it. And then we model it differently and they go, huh? 100%. I'd say 100% of the people I've talked to about Social Security, and it's not everybody, but the people that have, you know, just take it at 62, 100% of the people I've talked to ended up moving that to a higher number, 100%. Number 7, no sequence of return plan. They have all stocks. I'm talking to them, I'm retiring in a year, I'm retiring in 6 months, and they have 100% stocks. And they need money starting at that retirement day one, you know, so that's pretty high risk so stop trying to maximize returns, back off, do a little bit of protection, okay? Have a sequence of return plan. When somebody says, what's your sequence of return plan? Is it clearly thought out? You know, you have, hey, I've got buckets. I got 3 years in bucket 1 out of the market. I got 3 years in bucket 2. That's in balanced funds. What's your answer to that? You know, we can argue on making it good or bad, but having no thought about it, I think, is a blunder. Okay. Number 8, going it alone. And what I might mean by this is going down in your basement bunker, okay, turning off the lights, getting out a flashlight, creating your plan, showing it to nobody. I'm telling you, folks, the people that I've talked to, 300 people that I've talked to, two of them didn't have a big error in their plan, a substantial error in their plan. I recommend talking to at least two financial advisors, okay? I recommend getting a close friend, do some intimate sharing with them on your expenses, where your money's at, have them challenge you. I have a retirement group. I've got 2 other people we're meeting next week. I'm thinking about a couple moves. They're just on my mind, and I want their feedback. I want to see what issues they've got in their plans. We share everything in that retirement group. New Retirement, if you use that software, they have coaches for a fee, so they can walk through your software. I think it's like $200 and see what you got and see what you may be missing. A second set of eyes means everything here, folks, and it's cheap, $200 for them. Hey, if you don't know where to start, you don't have a financial advisor in mind, the second link below is for a group called Pickle. It's just a website. You click on it and it takes you to a calendar. You put on that calendar, next Tuesday at 4 o'clock, I want to meet with somebody and I want to talk about Social Security timing. I think Joe's crazy. I'm planning on taking it at 62. I want to talk about that with a certified financial planner. Totally free. Totally free 45-minute call. Okay? So if you think you got a great plan, you're sitting back saying, Joe, what's the next blunder? I've got this. You think you're perfect? Give these guys a call. See if you're perfect. Life is a terrible teacher. Find out in advance. Learn from others. That's what smart people do. Okay? I hate to be that blunt. Smart people get a second opinion and learn from others. Ego is not a good reason to take it on by yourself. Okay, number 9, and I talk about this in many of my videos because these are the 2 biggest and most costliest mistakes you're going to make. Going it alone and using your own spreadsheets. Again, some of you are rolling your eyes and saying, I'm good with spreadsheets. You got to be better than that. You put in assumptions, you may have some cell errors, some things you copied that are wrong, you have some simplifications in there, you got new tax rules changing all the time, Roth conversions, Monte Carlo. Come on, man. You can buy a comprehensive software package for a bargain. You can get it for $120 a year. You can use the first link below and check out New Retirement, check out the format. They limit the free version, okay? It's limited. I'm going to attach a video here so you can see how I worked through the software looking at a tax plan, okay? But it is a horrible mistake just to do this with your own homemade spreadsheets. You don't want to be 70 years old and find out you have a cell error. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be that person, okay? And I've talked to dozens and dozens and dozens of people that did this in an Excel spreadsheet and then used New Retirement and got different answers, okay? And what that does is that makes you work longer. It makes you spend less money, okay? That's what's on the line here, $120. I buy it, okay? I don't write a check. I put my credit card in there and pay for this the last 3 years, okay? I love it. And I'm an engineer, okay? So don't be embarrassed if you can't do the spreadsheets. I know how to do spreadsheets with the best of them, okay? Not, I'm probably in the top 10%, okay? Let's say that. So there you go. Those are my common retirement blunders that you just need to be better than. These are simple fixes that I see over and over again in retirement plans. So if you have another blunder that you've made or had a friend, let's say you had a friend that made a blunder, throw it in the comments. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I'll turn it into a video and, the audience can learn something. Let's make this a community of people that are learning. That's what we're trying to do here on this channel. It's Joe out.